Welcome to the webinar. I apologize for the delay there. Thank you all for joining, and we are going to cover today our new features. So as opposed to our previous webinars where we were covering our basic onboarding and kind of overview of the history behind eventPERCH, today we'll be diving into our two new features, and we're excited to go through those in just a moment. So thank you all for joining. As a little housekeeping item, just to note, we will be moving to topic-based webinars. So we'll have those on a rotating schedule where we will release on our social media and our website and our email newsletters kind of what topics are being covered and when those are being hosted. If you sign up for eventPERCH, you have access to our open office hours every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard. And we just had a great office hours call with a few of our active subscribers. On those office hours, you can workshop your questions live, hear from other planners, remove roadblocks you have, and occasionally Dawson and Lynn will pop in as well to talk about some Easton events and industry-specific items. So we look forward to seeing you sign up for eventPERCH and join our next office hours. And for those of you who are already active on the platform, we appreciate you and look forward to talking to you soon. And before we get into the new features today, just an important note that these features are driven by your feedback, and we really do appreciate any feedback that you can give in regards to our current features or new features that we develop so that we can keep improving eventPERCH for the event and planning industry. But just as a quick highlight, right now, eventPERCH has done its launch with 3 core features: our timelines, budgets, and our payment schedules. And the idea behind that is to really offer a narrow set of features to start that are extremely in-depth and solve the everyday problems for the event industry and really increase your efficiency and productivity with your team. So we will be expanding to new features in addition to timelines, budgets, and payment schedules. Today, we'll go over 2 of those features, and then we really are looking to gather as much feedback as we can as we look to develop larger features on the docket. So we look forward to hearing from you. Please submit any questions you have in the Q&A today, or send us an email to hello@eventperch.com, and we'll be happy to take your feedback into consideration. Some of the other items on our list are guest lists, which will encompass, building all of the RSVPs and invitations and things, as well as collecting the meal assignments and welcome bags and transportation. So we're looking forward to diving into guest lists, checklists, and team assignments, and many more things on the docket that we have heard from you all over the past 6 months. And we look forward to workshopping those with you as we develop them and release them and have future webinars on how they work. To go over, you asked and we listened. Today's new features are on the collaboration side of things, and they're a first step of eventPERCH really solving the questions that you all have asked about client access and live timelines and budget views without having to export PDFs every time there are changes. So we have 2 new features today that I will do some screen sharing on and show in just a moment. The first feature is per project member access. So when you go into, as an administrator, when you go into your settings and your members, when you invite new team members, you can now choose which projects and events that those team members can see. And this is great for collaborating with freelancers that maybe you just want to add to one project that they're working on, or if you have a larger team in the office and you want certain planners to focus on some projects and others, working on the rest of them, you can designate inside of your settings. And then also on each project overview page, you can click the 3 dots, go to project access, and you can change who can see each project. So we'll cover that in just a moment. And then we also added a feature for shareable links, for view-only links for timelines and budgets to start. And so if you click the 3 dots in any timeline or budget at the top right next to the export button, you'll see a new share option where you can copy a shareable link and send that over to vendors or clients where they will have view-only access at your control. So you can toggle that link on and off depending on whether you're working on an item and you want to temporarily disable their access and then open it back up again. It's a great way to either share with a client before you have a call, or share a timeline with a vendor on event day and have them be able to see real-time changes without having to reshare those PDFs. So I look forward to covering those with you. And without further ado, I'll jump into a screen share here of eventPERCH and show you how those work. I see a couple. Oh, thank you, Charlie, for mentioning I was on mute. So if we dive into eventPERCH here, I'm going to share my screen as we go into our demo project. and we'll check out first the new feature on the per project member access. So the first thing you'll do is either when you're creating a new project or when you are navigating to settings, you can go into members under settings as an admin, and you can control what projects each person can see. So if I invite a new team member, like you can see Amanda here has been invited, I just go to click invite members, add in their member email, and assign them as either admin or editor. If I assign them as an admin, they automatically see all of the projects in the workspace. Whereas if I assign them as an editor, that's where I will be able to select which projects they can see. So I will add in Brendan and send that invite. And once those team members accept the invite, like Jess here, we can, as an admin, click on the project bubble and we can open up our list of projects, and I can add Jess over to any of these projects that I want her to have access to. If it's a freelancer, maybe you just add them to one project and then save. And now we can see and manage which of our editors have access to projects in the workspace. Additionally, you can navigate over to the projects overview page. So I'll open up this Aspen project, and in the top right corner, there's a new option for project access. And so on an individual basis, when you create a new project, you'll be able to also add your team members from the project page itself. So I can click project access. I can see that Jess has been added to this project. I can also go ahead and, let's say, add Olivia if I would like to, and then click save. Anyone who's been added to a project under the member access will be available to be assigned as a project lead for that individual project. So that is our new per project member access feature. And then when Jess signs into her account, she would only see the projects that she has access to in here to edit. And additionally, as I said, when you create a new project, you'll have an option in the bottom left-hand side as you're building that project to assign members before you get to the project overview page as well. So that's our first feature. We hope that you check it out. And again, it's a great tool for freelancers and planners. We also will be expanding that feature with your feedback to potentially allow for a view-only option in member settings, which theoretically you could then add in a client or vendor to an entire project for them to see all of the details, which we'll get to down the road with some more of your feedback. The next exciting feature we have, as we said, is our shareable view-only link feature. And that one is probably more useful for clients on the budget side of things, where you can share a live budget with your clients. And you can either share that on the project budget side of things or the event budget. So the three dots on your budgets and your timelines at the top right will now show this awesome new share feature. And when you're sharing a budget or a timeline, it will pop up with a share window where you can turn that link sharing on and off. And once the link sharing is on, you can copy that link and send it to a client or a vendor, and they'll be able to pull up that link and have view-only access to any timeline or budget. And they'll also have options to filter at the top, just like you do, as well as see the project summary. So if you add your client to a budget, they will have the table at the bottom to show the total budget. You can choose to share, for example, the project level with all of the events or just an individual event level. And then same thing with the timelines. If I go to the wedding timeline and I click on my three dots to go to the share option, you can see here I can turn link sharing on, copy that link and share that with a client or vendor. And as I open that link, let's say as if I was a client or vendor here, you'll see that the page that they view will say at the top right, this file is shared with you, no edits can be made. They do have the option to scroll and see all of the dates in the event, as well as use the filters as if they were inside the account. We've removed some of the internal fields like the columns for sequences and notes. And that's the same thing on the budget side of things, so that any client or vendor can easily toggle around and follow with a live view any items that you as the planner add into your eventPERCH side of things. Will just need to be refreshed on the view only link side and will automatically populate with those new questions. And you'll see, as we summarized, both with timelines and budgets, if you do toggle off the link sharing, like let's say you have edits that you'd like to make as the management side of things. While you're making those edits, you can turn the link sharing off. And when you turn off link sharing for a given timeline or budget, the viewer of that will get a notice that just says that the link is temporarily disabled. An admin might be updating content. And even if you disable that link and then turn the sharing back on again, the link will stay exactly the same. And all the client or vendor has to do is refresh their screen. And so it's a great way to save this link in your client portal or in your Basecamp, or have your client bookmark this link, because whether you turn the sharing on or off temporarily, that link will always stay the same. And all the recipient has to do is refresh their page, and they'll get back to seeing the live view only of the updates that you've just made. So that is a quick overview of the new features. We, again, will continuously be improving and developing new items and expanding on these. So we really value your feedback and hope to hear how much you're enjoying them and using them. And if you have any questions, please drop them in the chat. I'm happy to expand further upon those. But thank you for joining today, and we will be uploading our recording to our YouTube channel and sending out some updates. So please check out the new features and join us again on office hours next week. Thank you.